Hey, you guys. So I've been consistently seeing this argument out there being made that Black people are not supporting Jewish people. Number one, we need to stop conflating Judaism with Zionism. Totally different. Zionism has to do with supporting Israel's right to exist and to continue the genocide that it's been embarking on since 1948, and the wipeout of the Palestinians and the takeover of the Palestinian state. But Judaism is obviously a whole nother situation, and it has to do with a people, a culture, an ethnicity, a religion, what have you. I just saw this video of Piers Morgan's racist ass, as usual, letting white people speak on his show and, without interruption or, argument or anything like that. And then speaking to Black people as if, we need to be spoken to and not with, especially Black women, and cutting them off and interrupting them every 2 seconds and interjecting their own bullshit, his own bullshit. And it was regarding reparations for the Black community. And these were all British people talking except for a country singer. And they were talking about Black Americans in particular because apparently it's more pertinent for him as a British person on a British show to discuss American politics than to discuss British politics. I don't know. I guess we're just that interesting. But or maybe the Black community is not by far and large really pushing for that in the UK. Not that it would really matter because they make up even less of a population percentage than we do in the UK as Black people. So there's that. But he says something, they kept conflating two different things because I guess they were talking about America's criticism of the American Black community's criticism of UK's or Britain's colonialism, because, it had a great effect on America as well as just Black people throughout the diaspora and still does to this day. And, it was arguing, they were all arguing against this Black woman, the same tired points of, it's 4 white dudes against 1 Black woman of, why do we need people to grovel nowadays and beg for forgiveness for something that happened hundreds of years ago? And why on earth would we ever need to pay anybody today for what that didn't happen to them and happened to their ancestors? But they'll never word it in a way that acknowledges that these people are your ancestors. Yes, they are our ancestors. So what does that mean? That means that intergenerational wealth was affected by their enslavement. Like that's what that means. Just the disingenuity of so many people, it's just ridiculous. You have to expect that they're not going to just give it away, that what we're owed, so they're going to put up whatever kind of a fight they can put up as long as they can. But it's really so disingenuous to sit here and act like the descendants of the children of people who are affected negatively or who are enslaved, by their enslavement, who are enslaved, to think that their children and their children's children are not going to be affected by that. That's crazy. It's absolutely insane. If you take the Rothschilds right now, or the Rockefellers or whoever else, and you fucking strip one of them of all of their money, strip all of the ones who are living today of all of their money, is that not going to affect their generations after generations after generations? Let's not even put the hypothetical out there. The money that their parents and their parents' parents and their parents' parents got, do they not benefit from that to this day? So the money that white people who own people, which, it was just about the entire country who could afford it, Back in the day when people could be owned so easily and legally. You're telling me that they didn't benefit in some way their, daughters and sons and their sons' sons and their daughters' daughters and their daughters' sons and their sons' daughters. Like, I'm not understanding. And same case, you're saying that Black people who were enslaved and then all of a sudden freed, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, when we had Jim Crow immediately afterward. And now we still have the racist, systemic oppression that we go through on a regular basis. Like, in 2023, like, I'm not understanding you. So you think that them being poor and then their kids being poor and then their kids being poor because of Jim Crow and because of all the things aforementioned is not going to affect their kids and their kids? Me, maybe even. It's just crazy. It's just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, how long are you all going to continue to play this stupid game of let's pretend to be stupid? Like, let's just talk about picking yourself up by your bootstraps in a system where not only you get privilege because of the color of your skin, because of your race, but also because in a system where you are benefiting from your ancestors and the leg up that they had on my ancestors. That way, it doesn't even matter if you had a financial benefit that you are experiencing that was passed down from through your ancestors, like to you, through your lineage. It doesn't matter if you benefit from that monetarily at this moment or not, because you still benefit from the social wealth that you have accrued just by being born as a white person. And especially especially as a white person, but it's just not as a Black person. Definitely not as a Black person. So it's just crazy because it's just like people keep acting so disingenuous about it. And one of the things that I wanted to say that kind of wraps this up entangles it up with the whole, Jewish communities attacking the Black community and Zionist community attacking the Black community situation for not having support for them in their genocide is, where the fuck were y'all? Not only were you all owning us as slave masters, whatever the fuck you want to call them, crackers, but you also were, and that's why that word came up, because who the fuck wants to call somebody a slave master? Like, bitch, please. So you were the master of my ancestors, and you think we don't need to be paid? And I have to say that. You see how it affects me to this day? I have to say that my ancestors were owned by you. By your people. Anyway, what I was going to say is that at the end of the day, not to mention all the whole history and culture and legacy that we lost, I don't even know where the fuck I come from. I could be of one of the fucking great pharaohs of old. I could be of that lineage. Whatever. Anyway, what I was going to say to connect all of this is, not only were you all slave crackers, but you were fucking, and I'll probably get my video taken down just for saying that, talking about slave masters, because apparently they deserve respect too. But you also have fought against us with reparations. I keep seeing people talking about, what Dr. Martin Luther King did for the Jewish community, but what specifically did the Jewish community do for us? Because if we take away the things that the Jewish community did for us, we will still have rights to this day. But if we take away everything that we did as Black people, period, no one would have rights. Think about that.